Hi, I'm Riley.
And I'm Styx.
And
this has been a FANFIC podcast.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
Hello.
We are your hosts. And in this Has Been podcast, we will be reading out Has Been Hotel fan fictions that we personally think might be interesting, cool, creative, traumatic, what have you. My buddy here can do some really good impressions of the male characters, and I'm also here.
Neither of us have read this before. What we're reading today is a one-chapter fanfic called A Weapon of His Making. It's by Shigairopi. It's probably a good time to mention that because this is Has Been Hotel fanfic, there's gonna be Has Been Hotel spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it, or if you're not invested, just continue, honestly.
Another thing that should be noted about this particular fic, it's a speculative fan fiction based off of the first season 2 trailer. So it's not going to be reflective of what's actually in season 2. It's coming out in that weird area between season 1 and season 2. So the way it pans out could be completely different, or it could be completely the same. And this AO3 author just has incredible luck in guessing what horrible fate befalls Angel Dust.
Yeah, probably. We did take a little look at the summary and the notes here, and there's one particular scene or image that has been revealed that shows Vox holding Angel Dust's head in place and sort of using his fingers to keep his eyes opened. I believe, from what I understand, this fanfic is basically a speculation of what would lead to that scene, or what would surround that scene, or how it would happen, or what it would mean.
Right. This fic might fall into a category that I like to lovingly call fics that are just beating Angel Dust into a vaguely white and red pulp on the ground. A lot of fics are very mean to him, and that's my boy. There's gonna be some tags, just little trigger warnings for what's in the fic at the beginning. We've got angst, blood and violence, hypnotism, fluff, thriller, spoilers, canon compliant, and hurt/comfort.
Oh, that's where Husk comes into this.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume he's doing the comforting.
Yeah.
You know, when it said fluff, I didn't even register that was a fanfic tag. I was like, well, yeah, Angel Dust has fluff. That's where my mind went. It'd be weird if you didn't. Okay. So I'm going to be doing the prose reading. My friend will be doing the voices, and then I'll be coming in with some of the female voices. So,
all right.
Angel had never been kidnapped before. He'd done countless pornos where it was the premise and sometimes role-played it with clients, but that wasn't the same as the real thing. It was easy to act the part or dissociate in those cases. Knowing freedom would eventually come was a comfort. He had no such comfort now, and terror kept him in the present. He couldn't remember how he'd gotten there or who was responsible. Maybe it was some sick game Valentino was playing, trying to make his reactions seem more authentic for whatever shitty script Travis had prepared. But he couldn't see any cameras, only a large television and 4 concrete walls. He panted as his nose stung, begging him to let out the tears he was holding. His heart was pounding so hard it echoed in his ears. His arms ached in their restraints, and the metal chair creaked under him as he struggled to free them. The door behind him opened, and he saw Vox enter through the TV's reflection. I like that description, Vox enter through the TV's reflection. Like he's coming in behind him. That's cool. That's a really cool
Yeah,
visual.
yeah, that's a good like I like when you can like read something and be like, "Damn, that is good cinematography," right?
Yeah,
Like
absolute cinema.
he's just held in place in this chair, and then he sees a reflection in this TV, and he sees Vox coming in from behind him through the reflection, which I mean, first of all, so on the nose, right? TV demon, but
Mhm.
also the whole ominous feeling of it and the reinforcement of like, no, you can't even turn to look at him.
Yes, yes, you can't even turn to look at him. Like it really sells the atmosphere of being like compressed and stuck and trapped. Like he isn't able to turn his head. Everything he's seeing is through the screen. I'm gonna keep reading before I before I just end up gushing all
Yeah.
over it. Okay. Angel had been wearing masks for so long that he slipped into one without even trying. It seems his subconscious had better control of the situation than the rest of him. It chose a cocky smile.
If you wanted to fuck me, you could have just asked Valentino for a night. No need for the theatrics, boob tube.
Vox's answering smile was vicious, and Angel's faltered for a moment, a slight twitch that likely gave away his true emotions.
It's cute you think I'd be interested in anything that overused body has to offer.
Vox chuckled, shaking his head.
Don't let Valentino hear you say that. He still loves a go or two when your robo-dick isn't doing the job. I've always wondered, does he
Ooh.
scream my name when you two are together?
Vox's eye twitched, and Angel congratulated himself for his win. But the fear quickly overtook him when Vox grabbed his chin between his sharp clawed fingers and stared at him through the TV.
I can't wait to break you.
Vox said.
I've always wanted to, but you make us so much money, it seemed a waste. But now, I have other plans that are more important than money. And you're the perfect pawn. Can't do shit on your own? That's pretty sad.
Angel said, his voice trembling. Shit, the bravado was wearing off. He knew Vox was just as much of a monster as Valentino, and he was already pushing his luck by being snarky. But he wanted to be strong, because otherwise he'd give Vox just what he wanted, a broken man.
With the bullshit. You know goading me isn't going to get you anywhere. You aren't stupid, Angel. You pretended you are, but you aren't fooling me. You play people just like I do. We aren't so different. In another universe, maybe we could have been partners. Maybe made an alliance using those mob connections you have.
Angel's eyes widened. No one knew about his past. How the fuck had Vox found out?
It wasn't hard to find out who you used to be.
Vox said, as if he'd read Angel's mind.
I have my own connections, and knowledge is power after all. Someone who knows how to wield a weapon and be a ruthless killing machine is just what I need.
Vox smiled again, all teeth, and let go of Angel's face. A wire snaked from the Overlord's sleeve, and he pushed the end into the base of Angel's skull. It hurt like a bitch, and Angel struggled, but he knew he wasn't getting away. Vox gripped Angel's eyelids, forcing them wide.
What is your greatest fear? What keeps you up at night, terrified to close your eyes?
The TV crackled, and images began to play. Angel tried to force his head to turn, to close his eyes even a little, but Vox's grasp was inescapable. Angel heard the screams of the people he loved and blood splattering against the walls. Valentino filled fat nuggets full of holes as he squealed. Bombs exploded into shrapnel, piercing through Cherry while she begged for help. Charlie and Vaggie clung to each other, while exorcists descended on them, piercing them with spears before they could fight back. Nifty was severed in half by Adam's guitar, her parts falling with a thud onto the dirt.
Stop!
Angel begged as tears pricked his eyes, both from the horrors and not from being able to blink. Vox was laughing, but Angel could barely hear it over the macabre screams and his own heartbeat. The final image was of Husk. His wings are torn from his body by Valentino before his neck was snapped.
Please, I'll do anything. Just make it stop.
Angel wailed. The images disappeared, and Angel was left panting, sobbing, eyes burning.
Interesting.
Vox said, removing his hands so Angel could blink again.
I would have guessed something more selfish from you.
Angel didn't have the energy or courage to retort. Vox moved around the chair so they were face to face.
Now, let's do a little reprogramming.
Forced Angel's eyes open again as his became hypnotic swirls. The last thing Angel heard was his own cries as the world went dark. Angel woke up screaming into the brightness of his dressing room. He blinked several times, not knowing why he'd woken up so terrified. He placed a hand on his chest, feeling his heart pounding. It must have been a nightmare. His head was killing him, so he held 2 fingers to his temple and took several deep breaths. There was an almost unbearable pressure, and he wanted to bash his skull against a wall, break it open to release the tension. He must have been taking some strong drugs and passed the fuck out. It wouldn't have been the first time. The headache sure felt like some sort of hangover. He groaned as he stood up, stretching his arms, which felt stiff. He tried to remember what he'd filmed that day. Had he been tied up?
I love the storytelling here of like he can wake up like this after being like tortured and hypnotized and be like, this feels pretty normal. How did this happen again? Like
It's really building tension because we know he was hypnotized, but now we're just seeing him like when it wears off. So what the fuck did he do? Currently he's just waking up like it's an average Tuesday.
Yeah, which is very sad characterization that would be an average Tuesday for him.
It's sad in such a mundane way. Like he isn't even traumatized like outwardly. He's just like, okay.
Another one of these mornings after whatever this is happened.
Oh, okay, let's see. He got back into his regular clothes, hung up his dressing gown, and quietly opened his door. It was dark in the studio. Everyone must have gone home. Relieved he wouldn't have to deal with Valentino when he had such a huge headache, he bolted to the front door. The walk back to the hotel felt 10 times longer than it usually did, and he wished he'd called a cab, but money was tight. Besides, didn't fresh air help with hangovers? If that was true, it certainly hadn't worked by the time he arrived at the hotel. He stepped inside, wanting to fall into his usual ritual of going to the bar for a drink and a chat with Husk, but for once, he didn't think he had it in him. He was so tired, as if he'd been up for over a day with no sleep. His shoots were long, but not that long, so he wasn't sure why he felt so fucking exhausted. The strangest part was the pressure that still pounded in his skull. It felt wrong, like there was something there that it didn't belong. So he tried not to think about it. Me, for real, for real. Husk raised his hand in greeting and smiled, which always made Angel's stomach fill with butterflies. Like a spider. Sorry. Smiled
he was
back.
Now satisfied. He didn't have to eat anything.
He smiled back, despite his exhaustion.
You look like shit,
Husk said, and if anyone else had said it, Angel would have thrown a tantrum.
I feel like shit,
Angel said.
No drinks for me tonight. I'm heading straight to bed. That bad, huh?
Husk's eyebrows drew together, and to Angel's surprise, he touched the back of his hand to the spider's forehead.
What's the prognosis, Doc?
Angel asked, pretty sure he was heating up from the cat's touch and not from a fever.
You don't feel warm.
Husk dropped his hand.
Probably a bad day at work. A good night's sleep will set me right. Jay, you've been gone for 2. We had to use Kiki to open your door to feed Nuggets. What? No way! I left this morning!
Angel pulled out his phone and checked the date. It was the evening of the following day.
What the fuck? I don't understand. Did you fall on the wagon again?
Husk asked, with no judgment in his voice, only concern.
I think it's killing me. I was sleeping in my dressing room, and I never do that. I hate being there. With all this shit happening, with Vox and his smear campaign, it's not safe for you to be there.
I really like how this dialogue's written. It feels very true to the characters.
Yeah, because like I do these impressions all the time, for better or for worse. But like when it's actually written in character, it really feels like it's pulling the rest of the weight, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Fox had been working overtime to paint Charlie's redemption hotel as her trying to destroy hell. Enough people enjoyed being sinners that they were now against her and convinced she was working against their best interests. The hotel residents were still trying to figure out how they were going to swing pride back in her favor.
Not like I have a fucking choice.
Angel snorted.
He calls and I come running, that's the deal.
Husk laid his hand over Angel's.
I know. I just worry.
Angel's heartbeat quick. Ugh. Angel's heartbeat quit. Fuck, it's contagious.
Oh no! It's spreading! Oh my god!
Angel's heartbeat quickened, and he felt emotions he didn't want to name welling up inside him.
I'll be careful,
he said, even though it was a partial lie. How could he truly be careful going into the lion's den so often?
I know you will. Plus, you're tough. I know you can take care of yourself.
Husk's smile lit up the entire room, and Angel felt himself fall a little further for the bartender.
Sure fucking am.
Angel flexed his arm and winked.
Now get some sleep.
Husk pulled his hand away.
Do you want me to get you anything? Tea?
Angel knew he really must look like shit for Husk to be this sweet. He was always nice. The prose is so matter of fact. Like, it's just, it really fits third person limited on Angel because he just says shit.
And I love the approach to the shipping here, where it's like, there's definitely some headcanon where it's like, this is definitely being written to explain that they have feelings for each other, but it's not being introduced as something that just justifies itself. It's more just like the author's read on their relationship. And let's be clear, my read as well. But like
probably Vivzy Pop's read too, if I'm being for real. Like, I saw their scenes.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
Gay shit is going on.
Yeah, totally.
No. Right where I am. Angel knew he really must look like shit for Husk to be this sweet. He was always nice to him now that they'd found common ground and gotten closer, but this was an extra mile. It made Angel feel vulnerable, and he had to bite his tongue before he said something salacious to cover how moved he was. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm no more tangents. Okay.
Nah, I'm okay, but thank you. Anytime. If you change my mind, just text me and I'll bring it up.
It's your mind.
If you change, yes. It's pronounced salacious. Anyway,
Oh.
Anytime. You change your mind, just text me and I'll bring it up.
Salacious. I will edit that over. Angel nodded.
I will.
He got off his stool and headed to his room. He usually took the stairs, but he took the elevator this time. Too tired for the exercise. You know, weird, like, no tangents. I was about to say, he's from the 30s. He probably doesn't trust elevators because so many people died in accidents with those. But that's a tangent.
Is that fire safety? Like, like, is there an emergency button that I can press? Like,
nope. The only emergency button is our friendship.
Oh, fuck.
When he got to his room, he snuggled Fat Nuggets and apologized to him for being gone so long. He changed into a loose t-shirt and pajama bottoms before getting into bed. He thought he'd fall asleep quickly, but he was anxious about the time he'd lost at the studio. When he tried to go through what had happened moment to moment, he hit a wall. It was useless, and worrying was just keeping him awake. He turned on his TV, hoping the sounds would overpower the anxious voice in his head, insisting something was wrong. That's creepy! Like, the fact that Vox is here, they still, like, use technology, like, that genuinely, like, made me go, like, ooh.
Yeah.
Read a book! There was a Western on. His dad had loved these and listened to them on the radio a lot when Angel was in his 20s. Despite the terrible memories of those times, there was a comfort in hearing the familiar sounds of gun on dirt. He closed his eyes and finally drifted off. Angel woke up feeling completely refreshed. He sat up and stretched, satisfied he didn't feel stiff anymore. It was still dark, and he wondered how long he'd slept. He grabbed his phone from the side table and checked the time. As usual, it was unfocused and hard to read with too many digits. He sighed and put it back down. He wouldn't be able to sleep anymore, so it didn't really matter what time it was. He patted Fat Nuggets on the head, put some food down for him, and went through his morning routine. When he was done, he got dressed in his favorite outfit: chaps, jacket, gold-tipped boots, pink cowboy hat. Oh, that's cute. He's just like, oh yeah, I like it. He waved goodbye to Fat Nuggets and headed downstairs to the saloon. There was a lot of chatter he couldn't understand coming from the saloon as he got to the bottom of the stairs. They were voices he recognized, but they sounded like they were speaking gibberish. He peeked around the corner and froze. Valentino was at the hotel. His cowboy hat slightly askew as if he'd been fighting. Ooh, it's like an alternate universe, like some weird dream shit.
Yeah, this is his dream, potentially television-induced dream. I mean, obviously television-induced because there's a Western on TV, but like Vox Tech-induced dream, question mark?
Yo, this is peak. He was holding his pistol out, finger on the trigger. Husk was standing in front of him, snarling, with a broken bottle in his hand. Angel checked his yellow dress for blood, but so far the bartender seemed unharmed. Ooh, so Husk is like cross-dressing in this.
Yeah.
A small part of Angel screamed something wasn't right, but he didn't have time to listen to it.
Tell me where he is, or I'll blow your fucking head off!
Valentino said, his voice finally clear.
Fuck you!
Husk snarled. Next to the bar, Charlie and Vaggie were looking on with wide eyes. Two exorcists were holding spears out, their eerie masks smiling blankly. Angel looked for the rest of the hotel residents, or their bodies, but there was no one else there. Let us go! Charlie cried. If you don't, Angel is gonna hunt you down! Angel smirked. At least she knew he could protect them all. He pulled out his pistol and aimed at Valentino's head, waiting for an opening to make his appearance.
Good, I want him to face me like a real man,
Valentino said.
I'm tired of waiting.
He scratched his chin.
Maybe if one of you starts screaming, I'll draw him out.
The exorcists advanced, and Charlie and Vaggie clung together, trembling. Angel came out from behind the wall, swiveled his gun to face the exorcist on the right, and pulled the trigger. He wouldn't waste time posturing. He was gonna fuck up some angels. The exorcist cried out as she fell. Her gold blood spurted across the wall from the bullet wound in her chest. Angel frowned. He'd been aiming for her head. He usually had excellent aim, but something was weird about this gun. Didn't he usually have a different type? And didn't he need special bullets to take out an angel? How was he even hurting her? Something inside him told him this was all perfectly normal and that he needed to concentrate on protecting the hotel. This was not the time for speculation. The other exorcist turned to face him, her partner's gore covering her face. She held her spear out as she approached slowly. Angel didn't have time for this shit. He pulled the trigger again and she fell to the ground, more gold blood pooling. Now take care of that asshole, Valentino. But when Angel looked around the saloon, he was gone, and so was Husk. Terror gripped Angel, constricting his chest so that breathing became painful. He looked over at Vaggie and Charlie, who were still huddled together.
Where did he take him?
Angel asked, stepping closer. They both looked up at him and smiled cruelly. Angel took several steps back, confused by the change in demeanor. They tore at their skin, peeling the flesh. Chunks hit the ground, making wet sounds that made Angel want to retch. Flesh. Chunks hit the ground, making wet sounds that made Angel want to retch. He expected to see bone. Instead, two exorcists were revealed. What was happening? Angel lifted his gun and shot at them several times. He was terrified. They'd been wearing Charlie and Vaggie's actual skin, not some magical disguise, but all he could do was shoot. Suddenly, something hit the back of his head. It fucking hurt. He lifted a hand to it. It was sticky and wet with blood. Over here! Someone shouted. He turned, gun raised, ready to fill another enemy full of holes. A tiny exorcist was by the door. I'll kill everyone you love, she said. Angel shot at her twice, but she somehow escaped through the door. He swore and headed after her. Husk served Charlie and Vaggie drinks at the bar as he told them about Angel. Cherry and Nifty were next to it, playing darts. Nifty wasn't hitting a single shot, but seemed to be having fun anyway. That's cute. He had called them here because he was worried about Angel, but what else was new? This was why he hated getting attached to people. Worrying was exhausting. But for better or worse, Angel was now one of the most important people in his life. The most, if he was honest with himself, which he rarely was.
Yeah.
Angel had looked Angel had looked fucked up. His eyes had been bloodshot, his fur disheveled, and now he lost an entire day. And how had he lost an entire day? And there had been something behind his eyes that scared Husk. Like it wasn't just him in there. He was probably being ridiculous. It was all the anxiety of Angel's situation making him think outlandish things, but that didn't change the fact that being around the V's was dangerous. Husk knew there was no way to keep him from going to the studio, but there was no chance he was safe there. Well, he had never been safe, but it was so much worse now. He's had long shoots before, Charlie said.
Never this long.
Husk said.
Never this long.
He didn't even text me to bitch, Cherry said. What about you?
Nothing.
Husk confirmed.
Or ask me to feed nuggets for him. You never leave him alone that long on purpose.
Charlie bit her lip. Angel would be mad if I tried to get involved again.
I'm not asking you to. I just...
Husk trailed off and removed his hat, running a hand through his hair nervously as he placed it on the bar.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being stupid.
I'm worried too, Vaggie said. We don't know everything Vox is capable of. Who's to say he won't do something vile to make an example of Angel so no one wants to come here? People have already been leaving because of that smear campaign. We can't afford to lose more, Charlie whispered. Footsteps made Husk's ears twitch. He turned to the stairs and was pretty sure he saw Angel hiding behind the corner.
Angel?
He called out.
At you?
The spider had only been upstairs for a couple of hours. Surely he needed more sleep than that. Charlie and Vaggie turned to look where he was. Angel? Charlie said. Oh no, I'm getting this horrible...
Is this him sleepwalking?
Oh no.
Oh. Oh. So the hypnosis caused him to have a dream that would make him, like, attack everyone? Is that where we're going with this?
That's so peak. That's so... Holy shit.
Oh. And, like, they said, like, oh, a tiny exorcist, that would have been Nifty, right? Or a stand-in for Nifty so that he would, like, shoot there.
Oh
Or, like, just,
no.
like, chasing bugs or something. Oh my god. Okay, this is actually peak. What the hell?
Husk moved around the bar, worried Angel was mad they'd been discussing his situation behind his back.
Hey, I'm sorry for telling them. But, you know, I worry about you, and...
Husk stopped short as Angel finally came out from behind the wall. He was dressed, but looked disheveled. His jacket was undone, and he wasn't wearing his bow tie. His eyes were unfocused as he stared at Husk, almost as if he were seeing right through him. But the most concerning thing was the gun he was holding. It was one of his Tommy guns, but he held it at eye level, as if it were a pistol. And the muzzle was facing right at Husk.
Angel, what the fuck are you doing?
The spider didn't answer. He just pulled the trigger. It was funny that in that terrifying moment, the first thought Husk had was...
That's not how you shoot a Tommy.
He'd seen Angel fight, and he always held down the trigger in bursts, but he gave one quick pull of his finger. The second was...
Holy fucking shit!
And Husk fell to the floor, hands over his head. Unfortunately, he hadn't been fast enough, and he was hit, but Angel hadn't been firing correctly, so it only hit him in his right shoulder. Agonizing pain shot through him as blood pooled beneath him. Angel, what are you doing? Vaggie screamed.
Don't hurt him! Something's wrong!
Husk said between gritted teeth.
He's shooting wrong and his eyes are off.
Something is definitely off about him, but we still need to stop him, Charlie said as she stepped in front of Husk, her shield before her. Husk saw Vaggie sneaking around the other side, flanking. She didn't have her spear, but Husk was still worried Angel could get seriously hurt. The burn in his shoulder reminded him he was seriously hurt, yet it didn't matter. Angel being safe was all that mattered. Angel shot again, and Charlie deflected the bullets. He looked around, and his face became panicked.
Where did he take him?
Angel asked Cherry and Nifty, who were huddled by the wall under the dartboard.
Oh, fuck. Wait,
Angel
wait. Cherry and Nifty were huddled together, even though in the dream, Charlie and Vaggie were huddled together.
He successfully shot the 2 exorcists at the beginning. I
guess that was Husk?
Can worry. He's hypnotized, Charlie said. He doesn't really see us. He thinks something else is happening. And now it all made sense. Why he'd been gone so long, why he looked so ragged, why he was shooting his gun wrong.
Box.
Husk hissed. Charlie nodded and then turned back to Angel. His face had contorted in terror, eyes still focused on Cherry and Nifty. You cunt's gonna do something? Cherry asked. She was crouching down, hugging Nifty. He's looking at us like we're zombies or some shit. And you know what people do to the fucking zombies? Charlie raced forward and blocked them both just as Angel raised his gun again. He fired over and over, bullets pelting Charlie's shield. Cherry and Nifty ran for the bar, ducking beneath it. Vaggie was almost on him now, hands outstretched and ready to grab. Husk forced himself up so he could help. Angel had more than just 1 gun and 2 extra arms. Vaggie alone wouldn't be able to hold him. I've got an idea, Nifty said. She headed behind Angel, a bottle in hand. She threw it and it sailed across the room and hit Angel in the back of the head, slicing him open as it shattered. Snap out of it, Nifty shouted.
Nifty, I just said don't hurt him.
Husk snarled. Angel turned, gun at the ready. I thought that'd work, Nifty said and ran to the front door. Terrible job.
It's like when you're playing like an RPG and you enter like a turn-based battle against your friend and you don't know why and you're like, well, I guess I'll use my ultimate move.
Angel unleashed more bullets and they pierced the door, but Nifty thankfully got away unscathed. Angel ran after her. Fuck, what do we do? Cherry asked, eyes peeking over the bar.
We have to snap him out of it. There has to be a way.
Husk said. I feel like it makes sense that Cherry's hiding because her weapons are big fuck-off bombs and she's not going to throw one at him.
Yeah, that's fair.
A bottle in the damn head didn't work, Vaggie said. We need to knock him out properly and tie him up. He's dangerous. Husk hated that idea, even though he understood. Hell, he was still fucking bleeding from his shoulder. Angel could do much more damage if they didn't stop him. Residents gathered on the stairs, likely drawn by the gunshots. Let me deal with them, Charlie said. Cherry, help me out. We need everyone to stay in their rooms for their own safety. Cherry nodded and followed Vaggie to the growing crowd as the former Angel warned everyone they were in danger, but Charlie was handling it. Husk and Charlie headed to the door, and he desperately tried to think of a solution that didn't involve hurting the man he'd grown to care for. Angel ran from the hotel, gun at the ready, eyes sweeping the area. Where'd the little bitch gone? He looked up, thinking maybe she was trying to fly away, and his jaw dropped in horror. Train tracks circled the hotel high in the sky. That wasn't what had shaken him so. Valentino was standing over Husk, who was tied to the tracks.
Oh, that's a scene in the trailer. I assumed that it was from a musical number, but I like how it's tied to like the hypnosis idea. That's very clever.
That is clever.
Let him go, motherfucker.
Angel shouted, gun at the ready, but his aim had been off tonight and he was scared he'd shoot Husk by mistake. Oh, honey, you're gonna shoot a lot of people that you don't mean to.
Took you long enough. I thought you'd miss the show.
Angel's mouth went dry.
He said, let him go!
He tried to sound commanding, but his voice was shaking.
You don't give the orders, Amorcito. I do.
Valentino's smile was cruel, a dribble of pink saliva slipping down his chin.
I planned something big for you to enjoy. You should be grateful.
Valentino crouched and grabbed Husk's face.
Don't touch me, you son of a bitch.
Husk said, snapping his teeth, but not catching Valentino's fingers. Valentino ignored him.
A train is coming down this track and it should be here in 10 minutes. The gate in the front is made of angelic steel blades. It'll tear your little gato to pieces.
Angel went cold. Valentino had to be bluffing. No one had access to angelic steel except Carmilla, and she didn't sell it easily. Angel heard a train whistle in the distance. Could he afford to take the chance that it was a lie? He knew he couldn't because losing Husk wasn't an option. Husk meant more to him than anyone, and he didn't know how Valentino knew that. He'd been so careful. Even Husk didn't know how he felt. But Valentino had always been perceptive.
This is where we're going.
Had always been perceptive when it came to Angel, as long as it let him torture the spider more. Tears stung his eyes, and he tried to fight them. He didn't want to show weakness.
Think you can save him in time?
Valentino asked.
I'm going to watch this from a safe distance. I don't like getting guts all over my wings.
Valentino flew away, but Angel didn't even take a shot at him. He was too focused on Husk, trying to figure out the fastest way to get up there.
Husk!
Angel choked out.
I'm going to save you. I won't lose you.
He glanced at the hotel wall. There were plenty of windows, and Angel was an excellent climber. He could get up there in time if he hurried. Angel threw the gun to the ground and ran to the wall and began to ascend. Husk ran from the hotel and almost collided with Angel. He was staring up in the sky, gun pointed at a beetle demon who was hovering there looking petrified. He's just some random bloke. Husk couldn't remember his name. He hadn't bothered to remember any of the new guests' names. I don't want any trouble, dude, the demon said, holding up his hands. I was just flying to my room. He pointed at a window on the 5th floor. Please put the gun down.
I said let him go!
Angel shouted, his voice cracking. He sounded terrified. I don't know what you're talking about, the sitter wailed. I don't have anyone.
He's not himself.
Husk told the beetle.
Just don't move.
Razzle, to me, now! Charlie called out. Husk felt the air stir as Razzle obeyed, turning into his larger form. But Husk didn't take his eyes off Angel. He was still trying to come up with a plan. I had like the most horrible thought with like Angel on the loose. It's like, what if Razzle just gets like a big cup and like a piece of paper and just just contains
This isn't the first time I've been put in a jar. Anyway.
Oh God.
It's a lot less humid this time though. Thanks for that. Oh my God. Are we keeping that in? I feel like we might keep that in.
We're keeping
oh my God.
In.
Okay.
Husk felt the air stir as Razzle obeyed, turning into his larger form, but Husk couldn't take his eyes off Angel. He was still trying to come up with a plan. Charlie flew to the center, shield up, and he jumped onto Razzle's back behind the princess. Angel, put the gun down, Charlie commanded. No one here is a threat. You need to snap out of this. Husk moved around Angel, and his heart broke when he saw his face. He looked scared, tears threatening to spill from his wide eyes.
He's terrified,
Husk said, wanting to reach out and hug him, but knowing it was a bad idea. I'm going to fly Pedro to safety, Charlie said, but Husk wasn't listening. It's cute she, like, remembers everyone's names. Husk doesn't.
Yeah. Husk,
Angel said, sounding like he was holding in a sob.
I'm going to save you. I won't lose you. He thinks I'm in trouble?
Husk looked up to where Angel was staring. Of course, there was nothing there.
Angel, I'm right here. I'm fine. Well, you shot me, but otherwise I'm fine.
Husk smiled at him, his own eyes becoming watery. Because who ever gave a shit about him? Who would have had such a reaction to him being in danger? As fucked up as this all was, he was touched. And the feeling inside him that had been stirring for so many months began to burn. Angel dropped his gun and ran to the side of the hotel. He climbed expertly, finding handholds where Husk was sure there were none. Husk followed, hovering behind him.
Angel, this is dangerous,
he said.
I'm going to save him.
Angel responded. So maybe he could hear them after all.
He's mine. I won't let you take him from me.
Husk smiled.
Yours, huh?
Do you actually like the sound of that? Minus the circumstances, of course. But this wasn't the damn time to get all starry-eyed over someone. Angel was climbing a fucking building and Husk didn't know what he'd do when he got to the top.
Call me the Amazing Spider-Man, because I can do whatever a spider can. I'm gonna stop the supervillain Valentino. Just you watch.
He just like throws himself off the side of the building like after a bird or some shit.
Mary Jane!
Continued to follow him, begging him to stop.
I'm right here. Please, Angel. Snap out of it.
But Angel was no longer responding, just climbing and crying. It made Husk ache more than his shoulder. Angel started his climb, filled with determination.
Anyone. You'll never make it.
Valentino said as he hovered behind Angel.
I'm going to save him. He's mine. I won't let you take him from me.
He could do this. He could be a hero. Then he'd spill his guts to Husk right there and then. Air it all out, even if he got rejected. He would rather Husk know than be filled with regrets. Valentino pestered him the entire way, but he ignored it. Instead, he filled his mind with thoughts of Husk, like nights drinking at the bar, gossiping, listening to music together and singing along, sharing quiet jabs at Charlie's exercises and stifling their laughter, staring into those beautiful golden eyes and wanting to flirt but being too nervous that he'd think it was fake. He finally made it to the top, his arms aching. He could hear the train, and it was closer now. How long had the climb taken? The jump to the tracks was far, and he wasn't actually sure he could make it. He looked down. If he fell, he was going to splat himself. He wouldn't die, but it was going to fucking suck to pull himself back together. But Husk was worth the risk.
Don't worry, Husk. I'm coming.
You know, things are messed. You know, like, you ever had that experience where there's like a spider, maybe get it into a cup or something, and then it suddenly just launches?
Yeah.
That's what I'm just imagining. Husk wasn't getting through to him. Angel finished his climb, still under Vox's spell. Charlie arrived on the roof with Frazzle.
He thinks I'm in danger.
Husk explained. Then he's gonna fight us even harder if we try to grab him.
Don't worry, Husk. I'm coming.
Angel said, and then backed up several steps and ran.
Holy shit, he's gonna jump!
Husk chased after him, reached for his jacket, but his grip came back empty. Angel sailed off the roof.
Oh no.
Oh, the spiders leaped. When Angel's feet left the roof, his determination turned into fear. He wouldn't make the jump. He reached out desperately. The train was louder than before. It was so close. He didn't dare turn his head to look.
Husk.
His hand clasped only air, and he was falling. He'd failed.
No!
He cried more in anguish at losing Husk than the fear of the pain he was about to be in.
Husk, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Suddenly, arms were wrapped around him, halting his descent. For a moment, he was relieved. Then he looked down at the hands gripping him. Valentino.
Let go of me.
He struggled, desperate to be free of the moth's grasp.
You failed. Just like I knew you would. Shut up, you sick fuck!
Angel had grown more confident standing up to Valentino over the last several months, but that was still rather audacious. He expected Valentino to drop him, but instead he placed him gently back on the roof. I'm just imagining from Husk's perspective, he's like, what? And somehow, the train didn't sound further away. It hadn't hit Husk yet. Angel didn't want to look at the track to see Husk's disappointment or his inevitable end. But what if he tried one more time? He chanced a glance and Husk was still there, and his face was just as disappointed as Angel feared. He ran for the edge again, but this time Valentino grabbed him.
No, you aren't going anywhere.
Valentino spun him around, gripping him tight, his smile as cruel as always. Husk held onto Angel's shoulder tight, and the hatred in the spider's eyes made him feel sick. Who was Angel seeing on the roof restraining him? Husk, buddy, I think you know.
Angel, please come back to me.
Husk said, his voice only a whisper. Charlie was waiting nearby to help, and he was grateful she was letting him handle it for now. Angel stopped struggling, and Husk cupped his cheek and ran his thumb along it gently. No, don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! He doesn't see you.
Is part of your sick game?
Angel asked.
Think if you're suddenly nice to me, I'll forgive you for this? Fuck you.
Husk got an idea. It was something he'd seen in a movie once, though he couldn't remember which one. Oh. Oh, I'm just realizing what's about to happen.
Oh, is he gonna kiss him?
I either it will work or this is gonna get, like, a lot worse.
This might be like a gateway to some more angst where it's like, oh, he kissed him, but like only one person remembers or whatever. Oh boy.
Oh, well, I mean, Charlie is standing
Yeah,
right there.
Charlie would know. He'd
Charlie
probably
is
let it
just,
slip, and Maggie would just be like,
"Oh,
he's
okay,
just gonna
okay,
say,
sweetie."
okay, sure.
Okay. I, I just, like, it's great character writing, but I'm just, like, my head is in my hands. I'm like, "Buddy, no."
Right,
Huss got an idea.
because he thinks he's Val. Oh god.
Yeah, no, Huss got an idea. It was something he'd seen in a movie once, though he couldn't remember which one. It was a way to snap someone out of a situation just like this, when they didn't have control. If Husk hadn't heard Angel shout out that he loved him, he wouldn't even have tried it. But he had said it, and they were out of options,
I hope you don't hate me for this.
Husk said, and pulled Angel to him. Valentino hadn't been soft with Angel in
Oh
decades.
fuck. Oh no. No.
He loved to play that hot and cold bullshit, but he was never truly tender. It was always followed by a backhand or after one as a fake apology. But this felt different. Angel had to admit it was nice, which made him angry. He was so desperate for an affectionate touch, it reminded him of how Husk would touch him sometimes, a light brush of his fingers, and then he'd quickly pull
Is it gonna
away.
work? Is it gonna work? So, okay. Is part of your sick game. This? Fuck you.
It occurred to Angel how odd it was that Valentino wasn't making him watch as the train came even closer, feeding off his anguish like some sort of vampire. He could hold his eyes open and force him to watch. That thought made something twitch in Angel's mind. Hadn't that happened to him recently? Hadn't someone held him like that and made him watch something? He couldn't remember, but it hurt his head to try. Oh, okay, so it's like he's figuring it out, so it's not just like a magic spell breaking, it's like they both have a moment of clarity at the same time. That's good, I like that. It made Angel think of another inconsistency. Where were Valentino's second set of arms? He was only using 2. Normally he'd have all 4 on Angel, smothering him with harsh touches. Something was off about all this.
Why would your forgiveness mean anything to me?
Valentino asked and pulled Angel to him. I need a cigarette. Their lips pressed against each other, and Angel was about to bite the moth to show him how fucking pissed he was, but he stopped himself. Because something about the press of these lips was foreign. Valentino was rough. This was all soft. The touch was light, not demanding. Angel closed his eyes because he wasn't sure he could trust what they were seeing. He reached his hands out and touched Valentino's leather cowboy jacket, but it wasn't a jacket, only fur. Valentino didn't have fur. He also noticed the person kissing him was shorter than he was, certainly not the height of Valentino. And then there was the smell, all too familiar, the one that always made Angel relax after a hard day. Whiskey and pine. But Husk was tied to the train tracks, maybe even dead now. He couldn't be the one in front of him. The thumb on his cheek moved slowly. Another tangle in his hair. Claws gently scratched his scalp. Perhaps he was hallucinating that this was Husk, a trauma response to make him feel better. He was no stranger to disassociating, but it was rarely so tangible and vivid. There was one last thing he wanted to try. He flicked his tongue out, begging for the kiss to deepen, and his partner complied, parting their lips for him. Angel gave the other person's tongue a tentative lick. Whiskey. Angel knew the taste of Valentino's saliva better than anyone else did, aside from maybe Vox. And this was not that.
Whisk.
He whispered, still too scared to open his eyes again.
I'm right here.
A deep voice answered. The voice he loved, could listen to for hours. The voice that made him tingle all over whenever he heard it. Angel smiled, tears spilling from his eyes, and kissed him again. He moaned as Husk continued to... Okay, you guys are doing it on the roof? I'm gonna just, go down a little bit, scroll down a little, like just because um
Sure.
this isn't an NSFW podcast. I mean, it's well written, but I yeah. Um but it was Husk smiling up at him, his eyes filled with unshed tears.
Welcome back, Angel.
He said. Angel looked around. The train tracks were gone. Charlie was with Razzle on the roof, looking at them like they might be the cutest thing she'd ever seen. He glanced down and saw he was in his usual outfit, though it was unbuttoned and he was missing his bow tie.
What the fuck happened?
He asked, still clinging to Husk, not wanting to let go yet.
You were acting crazy. Like you were seeing shit that wasn't there.
Angel nodded.
I was. It was a nightmare. Assume Vox hypnotized you. That's why you were at the studio so long. I can't remember.
Angel said, holding his hand to his throbbing head. He tried to force memories to come forward. The small snippets slipped through. A room, fear, the feeling of claws on his eyelids. Angel told Husk what he could, including the nightmare he'd experienced. Husk looked at him with compassion and nodded along to his story. Angel finally noticed Husk's shoulder and gasped.
You're bleeding. You shot me,
Husk said with a shrug.
What? Let's go inside. I'll explain what happened on our end.
Angel nodded and was surprised when Husk grabbed his hand, weaving their fingers together as they headed for the door on the roof. Husk's thumb gently rubbed onto the back of Angel's hand, and he turned to look at the spider over his shoulder.
I'm so fucking happy you're back,
he said.
Didn't want to lose you.
The words filled Angel's stomach with butterflies. He smiled back and squeezed Husk's hand.
Can't get rid of me that easily.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. I can imagine like the genuine Angel smile.
Oh, the tired one.
Yeah.
The first order of business was to clean up their wounds while Husk explained what had happened. Angel was taken care of first, despite his insistence that Husk was more important, since his was a head injury, but it was already mostly healed. When it was Husk's turn, Angel hovered around Vaggie, watching her clean his wound with a critical eye. She kept glaring at him, but he refused to leave. I know what I'm doing, she said. And he knew she did, but he didn't care. He wasn't letting Husk out of his sight. Angel listened to the story, feeling more and more guilty for what he had done. He hadn't had angelic bullets, but it didn't matter. People had still been in danger because of him, and Husk was injured. He felt like a monster. Husk kept reassuring him, and even Vaggie was being extra kind, but it still ate away at him. When Husk was all bandaged up, they moved to Charlie's office to discuss their situation. Lucifer joined them, but Cherry and Nifty were on cleanup duty, and neither was interested in making war plans. Well, Cherry was, but her ideas only ever involved explosives. Alistair wasn't around, which Angel liked since Husk was much less tense when he wasn't around. Yeah. No, Alistair has not appeared at all of this fic, thank God.
Between recording sessions, Alistair just isn't here.
What do you think he's doing?
Probably talking to Lilith, or fighting Vox, or eating a deer.
Eating some roadkill.
Yeah.
I just have this like mental image of him just like chilling and like, he sees Angel on the top of the roof and just like, not my problem.
Oh my, Angel. What has happened to you?
Yeah, I'm glad he wasn't there.
Yeah. I was gonna say I kind of wish he was, but really only so I could do the voice. I'm glad for the sake of the story he was not there.
There will be plenty of opportunities for you to do the Alistair voice.
Splendid.
Because,
all right. Anyway, let's continue.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Alistair wasn't around, which Angel liked since Husk was much less tense when he wasn't there. We should wait for him, Charlie said. He knows Vox better than we do.
We can't
much better.
We can't just wait. It might happen again.
Angel cried, his hand squeezing Husk's tight.
Dangerous to have around.
Everyone was silent. They knew what he said was true, and as much as it would hurt, he'd sacrifice his own happiness to keep them all safe.
Charlie.
Lucifer placed a hand on Charlie's shoulder.
You can help.
Charlie looked up at her father, shaking her head from side to side. No, I could never do it right. Mom said...
Your mother isn't here. I have faith in you.
Charlie's lip trembled. When she looked back at Angel, there were tears in her eyes. But what if I fail?
And at least you tried. What are you talking about?
Angel asked, eyes flitting between Lucifer and Charlie. This whole like pep talk thing, it's cute, but like, God, could you imagine if you're like about to have brain surgery and the surgeons are having that conversation?
What if I fail? I promise you're good enough. You can.
At least you tried, and you're just standing over there with your messed up head, like, ah.
Well, Angel's been through worse. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I think yeah, he'll be fine. This isn't even the worst thing that's happened to him today.
If there's something you can do,
Um,
please just do it.
Charlie wiped her eyes. I stopped practicing ages ago. I don't remember the tune,
Yes, you do.
Lucifer insisted.
Your mother sang you that song every night before bed. You've heard it 100 times. It's inside you just like it was inside her. Will someone just tell me what the fuck you're talking about?
Angel was desperate. He'd try literally anything.
Oh, this is so in character. I love it.
Oh, he's out of the loop. My mother had a magical voice. She could use it to inspire or counteract inner magic, Charlie explained. I inherited it, but I could never get it right. It never worked.
Try. Please try.
Angel said, reaching forward and grasping Charlie's hands.
Please.
His voice was quiet and quivering. But if I fail, I could do more damage. I'm still half my father, and the magic can go either way. It can help, but it can also harm. That's why I don't use it.
If you don't try, I'll need to leave forever. Isn't that worse? And if you hurt me, I deserve it. Look at what I did tonight.
Angel looked at Husk's shoulder.
I deserve whatever I get. Don't say that.
Husk said, grabbing Angel's chin and forcing his face up to look into his eyes.
It wasn't your fault.
Angel's like significantly taller than Husk. Is Husk like standing on something, or is he like yanking Angel down? Maybe Angel's on his knees.
Yeah, I sort of assumed Angel was like sort of on the ground. It wasn't your fault.
Husk moved his hand to stroke Angel's cheek, and the spider leaned into the touch. Angel knew it technically wasn't, but it didn't make him feel much better.
Still, I want you to try.
Angel said. Husk dropped his hand, and Angel looked back at Charlie. I'll give it a shot, she said with a nod. She squeezed Angel's hands and closed her eyes. It took her a minute to start. First, she hummed, and Angel could feel the magic in the room. Then she started singing. There were no words, only notes, haunting and beautiful. It differed from how she normally sang, the magic-laced words ringing in Angel's mind. And as she continued, the pain began, piercing and unbearable, throbbing through Angel's brain. A scream tore from his throat, drowning out her voice, but the pain didn't stop. He felt someone holding him and smelled the whiskey and forest scent of Husk. He buried his face in Husk's fur. Charlie was still holding two of his hands, her grip like a vice he wanted to escape from.
You're hurting him,
Husk shouted, close to his ear.
She can't stop once she's started,
Lucifer said.
It's more dangerous if she does. She could lose focus and it could hit any of you.
Angel sobbed, nausea roiling within him, his head feeling like it would explode. Finally, it hit a crescendo, and he felt like his head had exploded. Searing white pain, blood flooding his mouth as he bit his tongue, and every muscle in his body tensing.
I have you, Angel. I won't let you go.
Husk whispered. He gripped Husk tighter, wishing he could speak before his inevitable final death, wanting to at least say goodbye. Then it was over. Charlie stopped singing, and Angel sagged. He panted, unable to get a full breath, lungs burning, body throbbing.
Are you okay?
Husk asked, kissing his head and rubbing his cheek along Angel's hair.
Ugh.
Was all Angel could say. Did it work? Becky asked. I don't know, Charlie said, sounding exhausted. Angel lifted his head, blinking at the lights that felt too bright.
I feel... sounded like Moxie.
Angel swallowed.
I smell colors.
Oh my god, we could totally do Hell of a Boss fanfics too.
I feel...
Angel swallowed, wishing he had a drink.
It's...
Words were so hard. His tongue felt thick. But the feeling of something being in his head was gone. The pressure no longer pulsed in an endless rhythm, a song begging him to listen. Husk lifted Angel's face, peering into his eyes.
It worked,
he said confidently.
Just him. I can tell.
Angel scoffed because how could Husk possibly tell? Yet he was staring at him like he truly could.
Be safe. We shouldn't leave him alone,
Lucifer said. Angel turned to him. He was hugging Charlie from behind, looking like a proud father. Charlie looked like she'd run a marathon, but smiled at him weakly.
I'll stay with him. He's okay with it.
Husk offered.
Told you I'd get you into my room eventually. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah, Angel, you just got traumatic brain damage.
And of course.
Angel whispered, elbowing him, and Husk gave him a playful glare. Angel squeezed Charlie's hands.
Thank you. Could you imagine being elbowed by Angel? Just like 3 daggers, 3 bony daggers. And
like, you mean like if he had the extra arms out?
Yeah.
Ugh, that would like there were a few like lines here where I was like, oh, he's holding hands of Husk. How is he also holding hands of Charlie? And then I remembered, oh yeah, he's got a lot of hands.
Yeah.
He's all hands.
So tired.
Angel let go of Charlie and turned to Husk.
Your shoulder handle helping me upstairs?
Husk nodded and stood and then picked Angel up.
You don't need to carry me. It's nothing I can't handle. Honestly, you don't look like you can walk.
Husk was probably right, so Angel let him carry him to his room. Angel leaned his head on Husk's uninjured shoulder the entire way, too exhausted to keep up. Husk helped him change into pajamas, and Angel was too tired to even make a joke. He got Angel some water and 2 pain pills since he'd be hurting from that climb up by the morning. Once Angel was tucked in, Husk looked down at his dirty pants. From the blood.
There's something of mine.
Angel offered. Husk nodded and squeezing some pants that were a bit too long, he got into the bed next to Angel. Fat Nuggets joining him. He got on his back, wings splayed out beneath him, and Angel scooted over so he could rest his head on his chest, careful to lay his hand below Husk's injured shoulder. He inhaled Husk's delicious scent, letting it soothe him. Husk started purring as he ran his hands up and down Angel's back.
I wanted to tell you something,
Husk said.
It meant a lot to me that you were trying to save me. I shot you! Yeah, but you didn't know it was me. You were trying to protect me. No one has ever wanted to do that before.
Husk kissed the top of his head.
Thank you. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Angel said softly.
Same for you. Anything.
Husk squeezed him gently.
I love you too, by the way. Didn't get a chance to say it earlier.
Angel shot up so fast his head hurt.
I never said I love you!
Angel's heart pounded while he stared wide-eyed at Husk.
You did when you were having that hallucination, and you thought you'd failed and were falling. You heard that?
Angel whined.
I'm so embarrassed. Why? I just said it back, didn't I? What's there to be embarrassed about? It should have been a more romantic moment, not blurted out when I thought you were gonna die. I thought it was very romantic.
Husk said, cupping Angel's cheek.
A brave hero, jumping off a roof to save me.
Angel scoffed.
It wasn't that impressive. Yes, it was. You're amazing.
Husk was looking at him with huge, dilated pupils.
You're always amazing. Do you mean it? You love me too?
It all seemed too good to be true.
Isn't it obvious? If anyone else had shot me, I'd be pissed.
He smirked.
Like you said, I'm yours.
Angel blushed.
You heard that too? Sure did. And I liked it. All mine.
Angel said, smiling so wide his cheeks hurt.
I'm all yours.
He leaned in close, their lips just an inch apart.
I love you.
He pressed his lips to Husk, letting himself get lost in an almost breathtaking kiss. The day marked the turning point in their war with Vox. Tomorrow, they'd need to make plans for how they'd defend their home from this new threat. But tonight, Angel would let himself feel happy and safe. He didn't know what this war would bring, but knew if Husk was by his side, nothing was insurmountable.
That That was really good. That was really good. Also,
you're good at you're surprised. You're like not surprising, but like I've never seen you do like a scene that's like so romantic and tender. You're a really good actor.
Thank you. It was a little bit like, I promise this wasn't idea being like, I love you, mwah, mwah, mwah. Like, it just kind of feel like I've never voiced two characters that were in love before.
Well, they were very distinct, though it was kind of funny to imagine you like with your like two hands, like just making them this.
Oh, Blance, you're such a good boss.
Me too, I really like
Well, to the author, thank you so much for giving us permission to read this out.
Yes, this was great.
It's the first episode of this new podcast, and I think it's a great way of opening. It's very it's very exciting, lots of angst, and lots of just the cute demons in love.
I love this ship, and I love seeing stuff for it.
There's a lot of stuff for it.
Yes, no, I'm very aware. But I like fluff, especially when it comes to, 'cause it's like This may surprise you, but I am straight, and I don't really do like gay shipping for the spice factor. So when it's gay ship and it's fluff, I eat it up because there are a lot of gay ships that I really love.
Yes, exactly. And for context, I'm a lesbian. I'm also asexual, so I get a little awkward around like rather smutty sexual scenes. But whenever characters are just being like in character and sweet and cute, and it like makes sense of the story, like that's my favorite thing.
Yeah. So a weapon of his making. That's so I like that, because it's like Vox tried to turn Angel against everybody, but the fact is Angel and Husk found each other, right? And Angel was and it's largely because of Valentino, right? It's the V's being their own unmaking, essentially, right? Or not unmaking, but the V's causing their own plan to fail, right? Where it's Vox being like, oh, I'll set you against the hotel, and this is going to work because none of you trust each other. And then, of course, because of Valentino, and because Valentino put Angel in the situation, he had like this close companion, romantic or otherwise. He undeniably had this very close companion in Husk, and it was that companionship that caused Vox's plan to fail.
That's perfect. I do think it's really fun that just Vox and Valentino were perfect. Like everyone was in character, but especially those two. They suck. Like they're horrible human beings, demon beings, whatever. And just the idea that the Valentino that lives inside Angel's mind was able to sabotage Vox's plan. Just that he was, Angel was just haunted by him, and he was able to like get snapped out of it because of how well he knew Husk. That was good. That was really good.
Yeah, I like the idea of like, this isn't just like the one team bested the other team. This is like, no, if they hadn't formed their bonds in the canon, they wouldn't have won in this fanfic. And I really like that kind of feeling in a fanfic where it's like, it's not just like, this is very much a conflict. This is versus, right? This is I wouldn't necessarily say combat, but something along those lines, right? It's action. It's action and it's conflict. But I like feeling that it's not just power scaling. It's not just Angel went crazy, but then Charlie and Lucifer and everybody else were more powerful than him, and they were more powerful than Vox, so they stopped him. Right? It wasn't like that.
Right, and also it's like notable that Angel, aside from Nifty throwing that bottle at the back of his head, he didn't take any actual damage from this because, you know, he's their friend. They don't want to hurt him. So it was very much a fight. Like it was a conflict, but there was barely any violence.
Yeah.
Aside from his aside from him shooting Husk in the shoulder, but
yeah,
it's fine. He's fine. Just walk it off. He's still got 8 more lives.
Oh my. I think he's in the negatives at this point, but yes. Probably Alistair would be motivated to heal him with his magical green stitches or whatever.
I like, once again, where was Alistair during all of this? Like he's I feel like he was just the image of him just hanging out in some unrelated part of the hotel.
I've
not
been
my problem.
fucking off.
I went to the tailor again.
All right. Well, this was delightful.
Okay. This was delightful.
This certainly has been a podcast. This certainly has been a fanfic.
This has been a fanfic. Exactly, and it has been a good one.
And I am very much looking forward to doing this again.
All right, I will be knocking down your door trying to get a hold of you to do this again. But yeah, no, if you liked what we do here, like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah.
Or wherever we end up posting this. Anyway.
Probably YouTube. Spotify scares me.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right.
Bye.